This video we're going to talk about formulas, and we're going to start off by talking about two common formulas in geometry, and these are the area formulas of two figures, a rectangle and a triangle. Now, to find the area of a rectangle, we multiply its length times its width. So in our figure, the length is 6 feet and the width is 3 feet. So we're going to multiply 6 times 3. And then 6 times 3, as you know, is 18. And our units for area are square feet. Now let's look at the triangle. The area for the triangle is 1/2 the base of the triangle times the height. So for our example, the base is 6 feet. And the height is 3 inches. Oh, we're talking inches, so it's 3 inches. So we're going to substitute into our formula 1/2 the base of 6 times the height of 3. Now we can do some reducing here because, as you know, 6 and 2 have a 2 in common. So we are going to reduce, and you know 1/2 of 6 is 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. And again, our units are square inches. Now we have to find the area of a lot, which consists of two figures, a square and a triangle. So we're going to take the area of each figure separately and then add them together. So the area of the square is equal to side times side, or side squared. And the side of our square is 52 feet. So we're going to square 52. And 52 squared is 2,704. So our area of our square is 2,704 square feet. Now, as we said before, the area of the triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. The base is easy to see here, is our 73 feet. And the height is actually going to be one side of the square. You see right here? So the height of this triangle is 52 feet. Okay, so we're going to substitute that into our area formula. And so area is 1/2 73 times 52. I'm going to reduce again like I did earlier, since I have two even numbers here. So the 2 goes into the 52 26 times. And then I'm going to multiply 73 times 26, and so we get 1,898 square feet for the area of the triangle. Now we want to find the area of the lot. So we're going to take the area of the square and add it to the area of the triangle. And that gives us 4,602 square feet as the area of the lot. Okay, now we're going to talk about a triangle, but we're going to talk about its angles rather than its sides. And we want to find the measure of the third angle of a triangle when we know that one angle is 30 degrees and the other is 25. We're finding this angle right here. And so you need to remember that the angles in a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. So we're going to add up the two angles that we already have, the 30 and the 25. That gives us 55. If I take that and subtract from 180 degrees, then we're going to get the measure of the angle that's missing. So our missing angle measures 125 degrees. Okay, this time we are going to start out with a formula, but we're going to solve for one of the variables in the formula. So the first formula is one that we've used already in our video, and it's the area of a triangle. A equals 1/2 base times height. We're going to solve for the base. So I'm highlighting the base here just to remind myself we're going to isolate, get the base by itself on one side of the equal sign. So we're going to have to get rid of this 1/2 and also of the h. And so the way to get rid of this 1/2, since the 1/2 is multiplied times the base, is to multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2/1. So notice how we multiply both sides by 2, and the 1/2 and the 2 cancel on the right side and just left base times height. Again, we're wanting to isolate that b, so that h needs to move over, and it's multiplied times the base, so we're going to do the opposite. We're going to divide both sides by h. That cancels these h's on the right, which is what we wanted, and it gives us then our formula for b. B equals 2a divided by h. Okay, now we've got the volume here of a cylinder. Actually, this is a cone, volume of a cone. And we're going to solve for height, for h. So again, we're isolating h. We have 1/3 pi times r squared on the same side as h, and that needs to move over to the other side. And so let's get rid of that fraction first, just like we did in the previous problem. Since it's multiplied, we're going to multiply times the reciprocal 3/1, so that these cancel on the right. But whatever we do to the right, we must do to the left. So we're going to multiply the volume 3 times v. That gives us pi r squared h. So now, again, we're isolating h. Now this time we have to get rid of pi and r squared, which are both multiplied times h on the right. So we're going to divide. Divide by pi r squared. We're going to do that to both sides. Pi r squared. Again, on the right, this will cancel our extra variables and leave us with the h that we wanted. And on the left, we have 3v divided by pi r squared. And that's our formula. This time we have the formula for the circumference of a circle. C circumference equals 2 pi times r, where r is the radius of the circle. And we are going to solve for that radius for r. So we want to isolate r on one side. So we got to get rid of the 2 pi. These are multiplied times the r, so we're going to divide both sides by 2 pi. Cancels on the right, leaves us r. And so our new formula, r equals c divided by 2 pi. This formula is the formula for perimeter. We have p equals 2 times x plus 2 times y, where x and y are going to be the sides of a rectangle. And we are going to solve for y. This time we have numbers that are multiplied times y, but we also have this extra term here, this 2x, that's added to 2y. And so we're going to move it first. And the way that we're going to move this term that's added to on the right-hand side is to subtract. So we're going to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. And then, of course, on the left, these are not like terms, so we cannot combine these two terms. But then on the right, those 2x's cancel and leave us our 2y. Again, we're solving for y. We want y by itself. So now we have to get rid of this coefficient of 2. This number in front of y, which is the coefficient, and we are going to divide both sides by 2. Now, on the right-hand side, I can reduce these 2's. I can cancel them, but on the left, I can't, because p minus 2x is a term, an entity on itself, so we can't divide that these 2's. So just rewrite y equals p minus 2x all over 2. And that's your formula. Okay, our last problem now, it's kind of a word problem here. We're going to compute gas mileage for a truck. We have a truck driver that leaves the gas station with a full tank of gas, and we know that the starting odometer reading is 87,625 miles. And at the next stop, it takes 38 gallons to fill the tank, but now the odometer reads 88,043 miles. And we want to find the gas mileage for the truck. So we're going to start with those odometer readings because we need to figure out how many miles did the truck travel on this full tank of gas. So let's take those odometer readings and we're going to subtract the 2 and see how many miles the truck traveled. And so we're going to do a little bit of borrowing here, but you can use your calculator as well. And so it's looking like the truck traveled 418 miles on that tank of gas. And you know that it took 38 gallons to fill the tank. So 418 miles on 38 gallons of gas. We want to find the miles per gallon. I'll give you a hint here that in algebra the word per means divide. So divide miles and gallons. So we're going to put miles, 418, divided by our 38 gallons. And that gives us 11 miles per gallon as the gas mileage for the truck.